What if you took Moby Dick and made it an anime? An anime that's also set in space. This thing is almost $900 on Amazon. So, if you're one of those unlucky kids in school, you probably got to read Moby Dick at a certain age. For the rest of us, we probably didn't get to experience it until much later on, only to read a couple of pages and dip out of boredom. Luckily for those of us that have challenged attention spans, we have plenty of Moby Dick adaptations in film and shows. There's even a Moby Dick anime. No, not that one. Except, if you're looking for an adaptation, you might want to go somewhere else, because I don't remember the part of Moby Dick that features a dog kicking some serious ass in a gun turret. If you're not blind, the first thing that will stick out to you is the visuals. This anime is under the direction of Osamu Dezaki, who's worked on a lot of ancient anime, so it has that retro look to it. The character designs are all pretty good, and they especially struck gold with Captain Ahab. It really captures his essence. It helps that the voice actor for him is the same voice actor of Blackbeard. The villains and the mechanical aspects are outstanding. I feel like this version of the White Whale would be something that Mobius would fuck with heavy. The visuals hone in on that gritty and dark visual style that works so well, but you might have noticed from some of the stuff I've been showing you that the tone of the show is a bit contrasting. At the beginning, you might think it's going to be a moody sci-fi retelling of Moby Dick, but it quickly ditches that for goofy characters and lighthearted adventures, for the most part. At times, I couldn't tell if I was watching an action-adventure anime or a straight-up comedy. As our main character, Lucky, gets introduced to Ahab's crew, everything seems to be going well until a couple episodes in, and you realize what it's trying to do. I don't hate any of Ahab's crew, but they are very one-dimensional, and don't have hardly anything going on for them outside of their designs. The comedy can be good at times, but it gets in the way of developing the characters and plot. The only crew members that get any development are Dew, Ahab, and Lucky. It didn't have to be this way, though, because it's around 26 episodes. I'm sure the writers should have been able to squeeze some time in there to make a better rounded cast. It almost feels like it's wasting my time. The goal in the first part is to reach Lucky's home planet Moad before it reaches its horrible fate. At that point, I expected it to finally switch into something darker, and it does, but then it continues to do the goofy stuff too. It's almost tone deaf at times, like in episode 16 when Harry is captured by the villains, and then it cuts to the crew playing soccer. Seriously, why is there so much of this? Unfortunately, the price of this is the more interesting characters end up almost taking the sidelines of the show, to the point that it's pretty annoying and puts the pace to a grinding, screeching halt. The show could have been way shorter if it cut out moments like this. It's a shame because when it actually gets its shit together and showcases the more harrowing moments, it's actually a pretty good show. I can't believe they created a character as tragic as Harry Thompson and didn't decide to spend more time with him. It's got that problem of having too many characters and not spending enough time on them. This is a mistake that you see all the time with big casts, and this is no different. It's a shame that it takes till the end of the anime to get that going. At times, the only thing that did keep me going was the sheer amount of creativity. It uses the story of Moby Dick more like something that's set dressing. There are similar elements like names, and some of the characters like Barbara are along the lines of Queequeg in the book. The types of technology and terms of what you see in this show are unlike anything else you'd see. With a concept as outlandish as Moby Dick set in space, it lends itself quite nicely to its world. In other media, I'm used to seeing androids akin to slavery in the sci-fi shows, but in this show, many of them are actually slaves like Dew. That fits in with the themes of enslavement found in the original book. The androids are actually some of the best moments in the whole show. In one case, Murado was revealed to have been a boxer in his previous life and ended up going to jail after a street fight with a gang. He's such a good character that I felt disappointed that we didn't get more moments like this in the show. It feels like it's been done by a completely different writer. I'm not necessarily against the idea of the show having a comedic tone, but I get a sense of an identity crisis of sorts from the show. Literally right after this fight, Barba dies, and in the episode of his funeral, it's not even taken seriously. It's full of goofy expressions and visual gags. He also ends up coming back, and this is where the show really lost me. It can't take itself seriously for 5 seconds without some kind of gag. I might have sounded really harsh here, but at worst, I felt kind of let down by this anime. There's so much about this show that should be worth liking and has potential, but it kind of squanders it. You have something on the surface that looks so cool and sounds so cool in concept, but it ends up putting its eggs in the wrong basket. Maybe it's my fault for having the expectations I did when I came into this show, but I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's more of a mixed bag, and the reviews for it aren't very surprising. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to wait for the next Space Pirate adaptation of Moby Dick.